Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our yearly reading for 2021. So, welcome, and I'm just going to go ahead and just get into the reading, just sort of explain how this is going to work, and this is something I'm trying out. This is, I'm going to pull 12 cards, or 13 cards actually. One that will be the theme, representing the general theme for the year. The first card you see here is the tarot card for the numerology for 2021, which breaks down into 5 when you add the numbers 2 plus 2 plus 1. It's 5. So in tarot, this is the year of the Hierophant. And so with the Hierophant, we have, old beliefs and, systems of government and institutions, our educational institutions, and the traditions and the values that we hold as a society. That's some of the one idea of the Hierophant. For me, another way of looking at the Hierophant as opposed to the High Priestess is I feel like the High Priestess is about the inner spiritual realm, and the Hierophant is about the spiritual, how do you want to say, the outer perspective of spirit within our outer reality, right? And so it's that practice, our outward practice, the way in which we engage the world through our spiritual understanding, and always trying to really make profound meaning of the divine displayed around us in the context of our lives. Hopefully that's the best way to say it. So we'll be looking at this energy and how it's going to be playing into the reading for the year and for each month. The next card is going to be the theme for the year. Okay, just for us, a general personal reading for all of us. And so let's take a look at that. All right, so this is the Ace of Swords. Now, I forgot to introduce the deck, and probably a lot of people in tarot know this deck. This is the Stasia Tarot, and it's by Stasia Burrington. Okay, and so we're going to be using this deck. I love this deck, and I think you'll find it charming. There is some nudity, so just in case, you might want to be aware of that. It's just, I think it's just upper body. So, but if that's something you're uncomfortable with, you can be aware of that and make a decision now. So, as a theme for the year, personal general theme for each one of us, it's the Ace of Swords. And so all the aces are about potential and new beginnings. And with the Ace of Swords, this is about clarity. Okay, as you can see here, the illustration, it's like cutting through the illusions and really getting to the truth. So we can see that how this plays in with the theme for the year in terms of the numerical theme of 2021. We're going to really be looking at just opening our eyes to the institutions, our governments, and our society, as this can also represent the structure of our society, the Hierophant, and our beliefs and our support systems. So there's going to be a lot of sort of more awakening, more clarity. And we have this pursuit, we're being called to pursue the truth, right? To really, this card, as it cuts open this darkness, this veil of illusion, the ego, it seems as though it comes, like with all the swords, there's a tremendous amount of challenge here. And so we are going to be challenging ourselves as we step out of our comfort zones and bring all of these things into question, and to hold it up to a new standard of integrity, new levels of integrity, transparency, honesty. So this is going to be sort of our primary work. And look there, just right a few seconds, but it was 555. So let's look at the angel number, because that means huge changes, huge shifts for us in this year. And I think it's so important because the year of the 5 with the Hierophant and tarot card and numerology. So 555 says, huge changes are rumbling throughout your entire life. To keep these changes on the highest possible course, be sure to keep your thoughts positive and stay centered in prayer and affirmations. What that kind of says to me, but when it says keep your thoughts positive, for me, the thought that just come to me, it's about really focusing on the solutions, the clear, the obvious solutions. And that may be the problem, as they're writing out right in front of me, as I was about to complete my sentence. There is so much that we have invested in the negativity. Our differences, we're invested in our differences, in our identities, culturally, individually. We're invested in these differences and protecting them. And our ego is sort of behind that, because the idea of oneness is total opposite to the ego in every way. The network of oneness, our universal connections and bonds and themes, right? The ego is about protecting self and self-interests. And it's about moving from I to we. It's about understanding, as the archangels are coming through, that until we shift our energy to this idea of service for the greatest good of all, and we set aside our self-interest, this is going to challenge us. This is going to create an energetic challenge, conflict, and tremendous shifts, upheaval, as we face our inner being, our inner light, with who and what we have identified ourselves with. So they're writing the word liberty. This is a year or opportunity for great liberty. But it's still up to us. It's still up to us, okay? To liberate ourselves. So we got to pick up the sword and choose to liberate ourselves. So they just guided me to kind of just pick an archangel. And this stone is malachite, and it's a healing stone. It seems to be just an overall healing stone for many different things. And we will need that sort of healing, reconciling, in order to really heal. This is about releasing thought patterns and beliefs that are no longer useful and worthy of us. They're also writing the word sight. So, with the sword, if the truth sets you free, but it also opens your sight. As you seek the truth, you're also asking for your eyes to be open, is what they're saying. And I'm just shuffling and gonna just pull the card off the top. So we have Archangel Raphael, which just works perfectly with this healing stone. So that energy, I'm just gonna set this beside it. And just had to have an archangel because this is an angel reading. And this gives us a sense of lifting everything up to God and the angels in prayer. It says, give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. So, I really get a sense that all this change, this is not your work to do alone. So again, that's why they were saying earlier, the archangels were bringing up this template of we. So, when I usually speak to you, or you hear people like me or anyone speak to you, and we're talking about the work that we have to do, but it's the work that we have to do. It's not pointed at you by yourself. You are responsible within this network of oneness. But your peace is your actions. Your actions do not affect just you, but they affect everyone. And at the same time, the energy that we give off through our choices and what we live immediately reaches everyone throughout the universe, throughout the world, on a frequency of a bandwidth of light. And that bandwidth of light is a light of communication, and its purpose is divine truth. So any of your efforts are received at that level. And the angels are part of this whole, I don't know how to say it, but this instrument of energies, just like you are a note within that instrument of different frequencies, as each string, is vibrating at a different frequency. But when the instrument is played, it's all of the notes, no matter how high or how low they are, that make this beautiful music, this beautiful sound, this beautiful composition. And so, just like an instrument, we play together to create a tonal vibration of love. Okay, so you're not alone. They're not, accusing you, but they want you to understand that you're part of it. So you have to rely on the entirety of the team, and know that whatever efforts you give, they will be added to additionally. All right, so let's take a look then at the first card of the year. So we see that we're going to be pursuing truth in our establishments and our beliefs and our practice, and so let's see with the first month. All right, and so the first month, this is January, we have the Four of Pentacles, and there's this sense of not wanting to let go. Is the first card, the first thought that comes to me. Okay, and so, as we're reacting to things that are playing out on the political stage, and we see groups of people not wanting to let go, not wanting to accept the truth, this is a reflection of something that's going on in each and every one of us, as our truth is confronting us in the very exact same way. Our beliefs, we're being challenged. The number 5, we're being challenged to make huge changes. We're being challenged to open our eyes, to see beyond the veil of illusions, to see beyond our fears. Our fears are only surface because of self-interest, because we're not able to move beyond self-interest into service for all in the way that it's really meant as a part of the network of oneness, where it's not you alone that's out there you're not out there risking yourself. You're implementing faith that is supported throughout the system or network of oneness. So we have to learn in the first month, we're going to be struggling with letting go of the things that our attachments that we're comfortable with. And the right word is syncopation. So we have to get comfortable with things being off, with the energy being off, as a way to help us to find alignment with our spiritual goals, our true higher spiritual goals. Okay, I'm just going to put the cards, right on top of the next one. So for the month of February, we have the Sun card. And this is a card of success, all right? And it also feels like walking into the light, right? You see this, he's like a silhouette, and where the light overshadows the darkness. And here, the theme of the year is that we're always going to be trying to pierce through that darkness. Was our sort of charge for the year, and so where we get stuck and deep-seated beliefs where we don't want to change. And 5 is all about change. So with the Sun card, we will make some success in some important ways to really move forward. So it may feel like that maybe we set or I don't know, I feel like the word policies wants to come through my mouth, that maybe there are some policies that are created that help us to be on the right path of establishing these goals of purity and integrity. For yourself personally, it feels like you're going to feel like, the clouds have lifted off of you. The word I just saw is harmony. So I think you're going to feel like you can breathe and for the first time, and that you're really able to really tap into these higher frequencies, as we've been under energy and worry and fears that have been really suppressing our inner light, as we've been focused on the struggles and adding more and more attention to that. And that has been decreasing our sense of value and worth and sort of peace and the ability to focus on the things that are important and meaningful to us. All right, so let's take a look at the month of March. This is my month where I turn 50, it's the 5 of Pentacles. So, all right, so this is a card, as you can see, where she's feeling really vulnerable, right? And she's focused on this what seems like a failure. She planted something, and it seems like she planted it at the wrong time, because the ground has snow on it, right? And whether it's planted at the wrong time, or her sense of time might be off. You might be looking for something to happen, but it's not the right season. So you're down about something, but it's not even the right season for it. So the idea is to wait for the right season. So in the month of March, make sure you're not pushing, and you're being sort of, like blinders or narrow-minded, and not really paying attention to the timing for something, which means you need to go within and really make sure that this is the right time for you. Don't worry about what other people or what's going on outside of you, and don't look and don't focus on appearances, right? So this may tie in to some beliefs that you grew up with, Maybe there's something from your past or from expectations of your loved ones or something that, kind of drives you, and you need to look at that because it's not very mature that you're still being driven by that or them or, people or your peers, and it seems like they are living what you want. It feels like something like this. And so it's just not your time I just saw for something to manifest. I saw manifested. Okay. So, or you may be missing something that has manifested, but you're just not in the right, you're not in your lane to appreciate it, or you're not looking at it from the right perspective. Something is off about the time and the season of how you're perceiving the situation. So you need more clarity. All right. And the theme of the year is to make sure that you're not coming from this inner saboteur or this inner, the ego and its illusions and its, focus on self-interest. And when you're missing the opportunity in the how can I serve here and help community and, help to really effect change. All right, so this is the month of April, and boy, I really hope I don't forget. Let me just pause. I'm gonna find something with a calendar, and I can mark it so I just won't lose my place. Okay, so because we're getting very forgetful these days. So for the month of April, we have the Six of Pentacles, and this gives us a sense of that we're starting to focus outside of ourselves, and we're thinking, we're focused on community. We're focused on ideas of harmony and cooperation, right, with others. And so, this card also, for me, speaks to that balance and recognizing that what I put out there is coming back to me. That do unto others as I would want them to do unto me. I'm seeing the word hope, right? And so this is a month of hope. Maybe there is some kind of shift where we are really, we really have this idea of others in mind and working together. Maybe you're able to really get some things done because of collaborations that might occur or opportunities to interact and to network with others, some kind of expansion or exchange of ideas or services. It may be a good idea, if you're thinking, I can't afford to do this, maybe, do some exchange, with someone, barter, but the idea is don't let yourself be limited by your fears, by the past. I'm saying the word forgiveness. So this might mean that someone that you had a break with in some way, that there might be reconciliation, and that you start to see eye to eye again, and you both take responsibility. And the angels. And if something happens in this month, I just saw the word angel. So I feel like if something happens where a rift occurs, then pray to your angels. And I see the word sequence as in, don't pray to your angels to help you to not repeat a mistake that you've made in the past, like where you might tend to sabotage yourself or judge people because of some pain from the past. And you just start reliving that instead of paying and being present with what this situation is all about. So pray for assistance and guidance from the angels. All right, let's take a look at the card for the month of May. All right, and we have the Two of Swords. Okay, so this is a card about, where you're, first of all, she's guarded, right? And so she's got her swords up. So that, it's like this, for me, this is like, when I see this X in my visions, it means no. So it means that you're kind of closed off. And when you're closed off, when you put your guard up, even if it's to the universe, right? When you're asking for something, or you don't want to heal, or you don't want to move beyond. I'm just seeing the sun god Apollo, right in his name. So I'll get back to that in a minute. It's like when you're being encouraged to do something and you put your guard up, the angels, the universe is trying to help you, to support you, but you put up your guard, and that's out of fear. And that's because you're allowing your ego to project, right? Its fears, its negative, pessimistic outlook. So go within. Don't be quick to judge, number one. Okay? Don't be quick to judge. And I feel like with Apollo, don't hide your light. Don't be afraid of opening up and shining your light. Don't be afraid to step into that light that you are. So instead of trying to do, it may be that the reason you're guarded is because you're worried about what others might think. You don't know where to go. What you're sort of caught between, like a rock and a hard place, is that you are stuck. Both of these choices or these things that are concerning you have nothing to do with you. It's all about the outside. And what you really need to do is shut that noise down and just be honest with yourself about what you would want to do, who you want to be, what would make you happy. And take the risk and go for it. Okay? Don't be afraid to taste a little bit more of life beyond the limits that you were so attached to. So, you don't want to be careful in May about being attached to like, to things your way of doing things, your beliefs. Don't be rigid, and really be honest and go within. So this card is just kind of in this month to be honest. It's sort of pointing us in that way. All right, be honest, and things will be clearer, easier to work with and understand. All right, so I just had to mark because I almost forgot where I was. So now June. All right, for the month of June, we have the Ten of Cups. And this is a beautiful card because you can see friends or loved ones are laying down near a campfire looking up at the stars. And there's just so much hope, so much contentment and inner peace, the fulfillment of love and every wonderful possible way. Tens are interesting because they really are, represent that goal for each suit, right? The ultimate goal in terms of relationships, in terms of our creativity, and our self-expression. This suit might also represent, besides just relationships. So you might find that you have this appreciation, like, in June, like you appreciate that there are things, maybe something breaks, okay? Maybe something breaks in this month. And let's hope it's the virus and that we've made some kind of headway. And, maybe it's a thing where we have this appreciation now that we have the ability to possibly return to some sort of normalcy, but normal will never be what it was before. That's the one thing that's clear. So do not take it that way, all right? Because you might really be disappointed. But the idea that now you'll have this appreciation, that you won't take things for granted, that you're going to really take time to enjoy the relationships and the people in your life and the accomplishments and the pleasures that these things afford you, that this privilege is not something you will ever take for granted again. And that is going to really shift, like sort of right on the heels of the previous no, that wasn't the previous month, but with April, it'll might happily really shift the kind of exchanges that we have going forth, and what we build and how we build on this energy. So this is a very important card, even though it's a minor event. Okay. Just looking to see, yeah, you're just getting clear. Like, I feel like you're going to be getting clear about something, and it's just going to just shift your whole level of appreciation. And 10 is about endings, but then beginnings. So you reach this goal, this high point, and then it causes you to want more, to set plans, to start setting new plans, and to where you go from there, kind of where do you go from here next, right? All right, so that might be a point where some of this in our spiritual values shift and really get onto that higher frequency of awareness. Okay, and for July, and I feel like I keep needing to mark these, I don't know why. All right, we're on July, looks like. For the month of July, we have the Star card. So this energy from the Ten of Cups just sort of manifests into this Star card, which is all about, just long-term success and a hopeful outlook, on the future, optimism. And so we, for the month of July, really it's this feeling of the sky is the limit for you, in a sense that you're going to really feel, and I like that because he's floating out of space like that. And so maybe we feel this huge weight or some kind of huge release. And we feel like we're floating and we're not so held down as much any longer, and stagnant, and sort of the opposite of oppression, so to speak, right? So really positive outlook for the month of July. Just continuing from June. It seems like something just really, that goodness expands even further, and also where we look up the stars, sort of saying, and we really, say to ourselves, who am I? What is my purpose here? And so you're going to be really reflecting on your life purpose in that month, and the future, and what the potential of your future, and the potentials within yourself that are possibilities that are untapped. And so this is a great time to really sort of tune into that. All right, so we have for August, we have the Empress, and it just keeps expanding here, right? With the Empress, with the number 3, it's all about giving birth to something, expanding. So you're all of that wishful thinking and potential starts to get sort of not that the Emperor in terms of mapped out as a plan, but you really start to have this sense of wanting to launch something, right? You're wanting to explore, to expand. You want to express this in some way, and so maybe you start to really creatively start to look at how you can develop this and create something. So this month might be where you really start to feel like you're getting a lot of ideas, where in the past there just were no answers, or you felt kind of stagnant, you felt like you didn't have a clue. But now it's like you're full of ideas, and you're feeling sort of like the Empress, in that you're just pregnant with seed potential, and you can you can hone this over a period of time. Okay, so as we in this month we're getting clearer about something. We're getting clearer ideas about what we want, what we desire. We're getting clearer ideas about what we want, what we desire. We're getting our perspective is growing or changing in some way. Yeah, I mean, there could be some potential really important shifts and changes that happen in approach and things like that in terms of institutions, etc. All right, so let's take a look at the month of August. Wait, even if I just marked it, let me count. January, February, March, April, May, June. Gotta do it again. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. This was August, so I forgot to mark it. Now this is September. Okay. Boy, does it really get worse? The memory thing as you approach 50. Okay. All right. So here we are for the month of September, and with all that creativity, the burst of ideas. Now here comes our planner here, the Knight of Pentacles. All right. Now we got to slow down. We got to ground these ideas. We now got to invest in our the labor of our desires, our dreams, and our goals, right? And he's saying it's like we've had this beautiful sort of 3 months where we just had, like, we were feeling on top of the world. We just really felt like we were turning that corner, and now this is not about hard work, but this is about fulfilling work, right? So this is the part. This is the good part. I mean, all the parts are great. All of it's the delicious part, but this is the real delicious part, because this is the part where we usually grunt and groan because we don't want to do the work. But this is the work that we really want to do, because this is what's going to give us pleasure. This is the work that you hope that fills your days, fills the hours and minutes of your days, so that you feel happy, that you feel like you are making a difference. Okay? So don't get discouraged in that work. And the way not to get discouraged is don't be in a hurry. The Knight of Pentacles, don't be in a hurry. Engage yourself in the process. Enjoy the process. Enjoy, you're going to come to there are going to be some bumps in the road here. You're going to discover, you're going to get clearer. You're going to see how to do things differently than you did it before. So give yourself a chance to process the shifts of this year and the shifts that are happening in your beliefs. Give yourself time to process all of that, and to really have those moments in between where you reflect and keep reevaluating where you want to go and how you want to do it better than you've ever done it before. You really want to, realize your greatest potential. And so the only way to do that is to be present with the timing of things, not just be focused on getting the job done. In our society, we've been too much about that, and the quality of our lives and the quality of the things that we produce have suffered as a result. Okay, this time I'm going to know that we're October, and I'm going to have to go back and count at the end to make sure. All right, so October. We have the Seven of Pentacles. So isn't it interesting we're having sort of like a little theme here? This would be another card of, just indicating, investing for the long term, and that patience, that everything has a time and a season, and it evolves and develops in its own rhythm, just like evolve in your own time. And so that's why we have to be true to ourselves and not try to fit ourselves into other, like some kind of cookie cutter pattern. We can't do that. And really, and really, honor our own truth, and our own integrity. We have to allow, right? And the same thing with our beliefs and our spiritual. We can't be just caught up in being sort of corralled into to conform, all right, to one general blueprint. There has to be room for our spiritual our spiritual expression. And yes, we're all a part of that network of oneness, but in that network of oneness, every being is not, does not give up its freedom. It still has the freedom to grow and learn, but it's not fighting, it's not in competition, because it's fully aware of its piece, its role within the whole, and delights in this. Whereas in this three-dimensional frame of mind, we're always fighting against it. We get this information, but we fight it. And this is what the word safeguard. We're always safeguarding ourselves against the competition, the other. We this trust. We were just talking about this in the weekly reading, where we don't trust, and then we don't have that same trust for ourselves. So it really just sort of comes back and to bite us, right? All right, so the next card, November. One more after this, and we have the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so now you're learning to juggle things, right? In the month of November, hopefully you're learning how to juggle both the role and your own sense of appreciation, to enjoy the timing, the energy. I'm saying the word energy, to have fun, to enjoy the process, that you're learning to not try to manipulate everything, but you're also being open to things as they come, even when it's unexpected, even if it's not in some, some kind of time constraint that you've laid out, or some agenda that you've set, right? That you're flexible, and that you, at the core of this flexibility, that you trust. You're learning to have faith, and you're learning to trust and be open to what comes and what to you and what comes out of you as well. Okay, so as we're going through the year, it's all holding to. We're learning to, partner with the angels. We're learning to honor our truth, to trust our instincts, our intuition. And we're learning to balance, between the things we believe and what others believe, and how to hold space for all of us, for yourself and for others, without letting it, eat away at your own ability to be happy. All right, and for the month of December, interesting. So we're ending the year with the Justice card, and it looks like the sword like the rooster. What does it say? The rooster comes home to roost, or something like that. I can't think of the expression, but the truth comes, it's like we meet the truth. It's sort of like we really confront something in ourselves in December. We see ourselves for the first time, clear and honest. We see what it is we're doing and what we want. We see what is in alignment with who we are, and we see what is not in alignment with who we are, and possibly that we end up making some huge adjustments. So, hopefully we might see at the end of the year this change, right? So this is how that change is going to come about, through first that realization. So the big changes this year, this might be the whole process of the big changes, and the following year will begin to be an outcome of or a manifestation as a result of what the process. Then we start to reap some of that process. Okay. All right. Great. So it's 46 minutes. This is good. Maybe I should pull a card from the bottom. Just see, too many theme cards, but I already did it. So we got the Seven of Wands. So, this card just is coming from the bottom of the deck, and it's just something that we need to be aware of underlying us, the shadow, right, that might sabotage us, is this sense of pitting ourselves against the rest of the world. All right. Take that out of your outline. Take that out of your mind. Okay? Take that out of your spirit. Stop fighting the illusions. Stop fighting the things that aren't fact. And focus on the truth instead. Because when you're doing this undermines you. To feel like, people are trying to knock you off your pedestal, right? And that you need to pick up something really harsh. Like here, they're just poking with sticks that are harmless to an extent, but this metal object, that axe, that's, so now he's got to use intimidation, aggression to push back. And whenever you need to go to that level beyond where other people have, I don't want to say that you're wrong, but you are in the wrong, because you don't need, you want to meet, the way to deal with a situation is to meet it at the same level. Meet people at a level where you all are on the same playing field. If you try to get one over on somebody, and then by doing so you make them feel inferior to you, you're going to create, inflame the situation, right? So, but personally, when we do this, when we go around thinking that, we can't trust anybody and there's this competition, I got to stay on top, it really forces us to act out in ways that are like evil, right? It causes us to be desperate, and when we're desperate, we're not in alignment, and we can't do things that are loving and fulfilling. All right, so we are complete, I think. So just remember to call on your angels. Archangel Raphael, this is about healing and relationships. So I feel like we're going to be really, our institutions, our society is going to be healing. And we need to work with our angels to do that. We cannot do this alone. We need that higher understanding, higher wisdom. So ask them for that perspective. Really pray to them to take you out of yourself, your ego, that inner child woundedness, and to place you in that wisdom of the hermit, right? That wisdom that has experienced life and can look back on it with a greater understanding and compassion. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and I wish you a prosperous year in 2021, and that all the blessings that you deserve, that you allow yourself to receive. God bless you.